You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday afternoon. Hope you had a good weekend. We begin today with breaking news, a death investigation that is underway in Blue Mountains.
Police in the Dane County Sheriff's Office say the investigation is taking place at Smoky Mountain Trail. The Sheriff's Office says there is one person in custody. The call for the incident came in just before noon today after witnesses reported a disturbance.
The Sheriff's Office released more information at a press conference just within the last hour.
Our Merrill Hubbard joins us now live from Blue Mountains with what we've learned. Merrill?
Brady, Susan, I'm on Smoky Mountain Trail where Dane County sheriffs responded to the suspicious death of a 54-year-old woman. Early this afternoon, around 11:40 a.m., an initial call came in from a witness reporting a disturbance in this area where two women were involved. Dane County sheriffs say as deputies arrived on scene, it was assessed that a 54-year-old woman sustained injuries and that led to her death. The other woman is a 31-year-old and currently in custody after trying to leave the scene.
The 31-year-old female fled the scene in a vehicle and was eventually apprehended at a different location after fleeing the scene in a vehicle and a short foot pursuit. Detectives are in the process of interviewing that person of interest, the 31-year-old female at this point.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett says they cannot confirm if these women are residents of Blue Mountains. Now, I spoke with some neighbors nearby, and they said that they didn't hear anything this morning and that police have told them that there's no greater threat in this area. But we're going to give you guys some more information as it comes. But for now, reporting live in Blue Mountains, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
We will continue to follow it, Merrill. Thank you. We also have more breaking news of a heavy police presence responding to a situation in Stoughton.
Our Jalen Banks is live from that scene. Jalen, what can you tell us about what's going on there?
Brady and Susan, it has been a relatively hectic afternoon here in downtown Stoughton. I arrived here probably about 30 minutes ago where when I came here, there was a heavy police presence. Now, we have video of the scene from earlier because the scene is now cleared. The block that I'm currently standing on was completely blocked off, police tape, multiple sheriff vehicles along with EMS vehicles as well. We also saw a vehicle being towed away. Now, if we could come back on camera, I want to show you guys the sidewalk here. Now, witnesses on the scene, they had shared with us that they may have seen blood on the sidewalk, and city officials and workers had spent about 10-15 minutes right here spraying water and brushing the sidewalk here. If you can see the difference in color, the dampness and the wetness of the sidewalk here. But again, it happened around the time where students were getting let out for school. The opposite side of the street from where the incident had took place was lined up with kids and young people, further demonstrating just the wild nature of the incident that had happened. Now, as we gain more details, we'll continue to keep you all updated both on air and online. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Reporting live in Stoughton, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Jalen. Well, let's now get a look at our first warn forecast. Meteorologist Jacob Montesano is out on the weather patio today. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Brady. Right now, we're definitely seeing those winds across the area, but the sun has also come out. We're seeing partly to mostly sunny skies right now here in Dane County. And taking a look at the temperatures, it certainly is pretty comfortable out here. Upper 50s for the most part, a few lower 60s actually as you get into the southeastern portion of Wisconsin. But those winds are certainly howling up around 15 to 20 miles per hour for much of the region. Some areas are even gustier than that. Now, these are just the sustained winds. Taking a look at the wind gusts, how about 43 mile per hour wind gusts for Platteville. Some areas above 40 miles per hour, but pretty much the baseline is around 30 to 35. So definitely seeing very strong winds at this hour, but we are seeing sunshine. Nothing on radar right now, but we are expecting some rain a little bit later. Taking a look at the forecast on that, we'll see some light showers begin to develop closer to sunset with some more rain continuing to push across the region as we head into the overnight hours. Could see some pockets of moderate to heavy rain, but otherwise the rain should be light. So looking at the evening forecast, at least for Madison, we're going to remain comfortable, although we are going to remain windy overnight. And during the overnight hours, we'll see the clouds continue to increase, and we are going to continue to see a chance of rain throughout the night into Tuesday morning. I'll talk more in detail about that and show you another chance of rain later in the week. All that coming up a little bit later.
Thank you, Jacob. Comes amid an investigation from the state's election commission into how nearly 200 ballots went uncounted in November's election. If counted, those ballots would not have changed the outcome of any of the races on the ballot. In March, Witzel Bale was placed on leave and City Attorney Michael Haas took over the role. He'll continue to serve as acting clerk until a nationwide search for Witzel Bale's replacement concludes.
A group of kind-hearted community members are coming together to do something good and make a little boy's dream come true. Josh Spreiter is here with a preview to his story that is running later today on News 3 Now.
Fishing in Wisconsin requires patience and perseverance, qualities that can be valuable in navigating the challenges and uncertainties of life. This holds true for 8-year-old William Schultz. He lives for time at the lake fishing with his family. His smiles show it all, even when struggling through medical issues since birth. So for Dad Jim and Mom Brittany, it really comes down to simplicity.
It's just being able to do the little things in life that we love to do, as simple as going spending time on the water.
It's just that time to spend with each other. Nice, quiet. It's away from the hustle and bustle of life.
Now the community is coming together to help their son live out his dream. It is a whopper of a reveal you won't want to miss. Be sure to watch for my Do Something Good story tonight on News 3 Now at 6. Reporting in the studio, I'm Josh Spreiter.
Looking forward to that.
I am too.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Well, next on Live at 4, how the markets are reacting to new tariff announcements.
Plus, heightened fear about flying, what the data says about flight safety.
Welcome back. The Trump administration is facing confusion over some of its tariffs. Over the weekend, the administration said electronics would be exempt from the 125% import tariffs on Chinese goods, but still subject to an earlier 20% tariff related to fentanyl. Shortly after that announcement, though, the president said no one is getting off the hook and that tech-specific tariffs are coming soon. He later floated the idea of more exemptions on cars.
I'm looking at something to help some of the car companies where they're switching to parts that were made in Canada, Mexico, and other places, and they need a little bit of time because they're going to make them here, but they need a little bit of time. So I'm talking about things like that.
In reaction to the relaxation of some tariffs, the U.S. stock market rallied. The Dow jumped 312 points. The Nasdaq is up 107, and the S&P 500 gained 43.
There are no longer any fully functioning hospitals in Gaza City. Video shows the remains of what was the last functioning hospital after the Israeli military struck it on Sunday. No casualties were reported from the strike, but officials say a boy with a head injury died in the rushed evacuation of patients.
Israel has been extending its ground operations deep into Gaza for weeks after abruptly ending the ceasefire it reached with Hamas. Over the past weekend, negotiators for both parties met in Egypt to work on a proposal. A group representing hostage families says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the government's focused on bringing hostages home. Hamas released a statement saying it's interested in proposals that will guarantee an end in fighting and prisoner exchange.
The man accused of setting fire to Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's home Sunday morning allegedly admitted to, quote, harboring hatred for Shapiro. Shapiro and his family had to evacuate his state-owned home early yesterday morning, hours after hosting a Passover dinner. No one was hurt, but images show severe damage to the home. 38-year-old Cody Ballmer of Harrisburg turned himself into police and is currently being held on charges of attempted murder, aggravated arson, and more. Both investigators and Ballmer's mother believe his mental health issues played a role.
Right now, Americans are nervous about flying after several recent high-profile crashes, but data shows the risk is actually low. Conversations about plane crashes are up 423% on X and 71% on Reddit compared to early 2024. But in reality, crashes are rare. Last year, there were about 1,500 crashes reported among more than 7.4 million domestic flights. That's less than 0.02%.
Jacob was talking about the high winds today, and fire danger is very high across southern Wisconsin. The DNR says elevated risk has resulted in 63 wildfires burning almost 135 acres this past weekend alone.
And we are hoping for some rain. Jacob is back when we can expect these conditions to subside. And is this normal for this time of year?
Yeah, especially when you have, a little bit of a period of dry weather with those high winds, you can get the risk of wildfires. But the good news is that we really are going to see a pretty good amount of rainfall over the next 7 days. Now, the showers tonight are going to be on the lighter side, but we're going to see rain much more likely towards the end of the week, and then again for early next week. So let's first start with that wind gust forecast. Now, they are going to remain breezy throughout the night and into tomorrow, still gusting up around 30 miles per hour overnight, then maybe picking back up a little bit more for Tuesday and Tuesday afternoon. Still seeing those wind gusts up around 30 to 35 miles per hour, but it is going to calm down by Tuesday night. But those winds still going to be out of the northwest, which will also keep those temperatures cool. Now, as we take a look at the rainfall forecast, we'll start to see some showers move through or move into our area just after sunset for the western portion of our area. Again, could see some heavier pockets of rain, but for the most part, rain will be on the lighter side. And this first round of showers going to be very brief, but we'll see a little bit more consistent rain move into parts of our region later in the night, mainly for areas north and northeast of Madison. We are going to see a little bit of a wintry mix as well, and some light precipitation is possible for the rest of our area, but the more consistent precipitation will be off to the northeast. Now, we're not expecting any accumulation in terms of snow or freezing rain, but that could create some slippery conditions, especially early Tuesday morning. Now, some of this precipitation may linger into the daylight hours Tuesday morning, but it is going to dry up throughout the day. Now, as we take a look at the low temperatures tonight, we'll see lows in the upper 30s, lower 40s, plenty of cloud cover, and those winds out of the northwest, despite the fact that we're going to see sunshine later in the day after that early precipitation clears out. We're only going to see highs near 50, which is below normal for this time of the year because of that northwesterly wind. But after tomorrow, the temperatures are going to warm up. But then that will lead to another chance of rain, this time Thursday evening, and this time the rain looks to be more widespread and heavier, as we could see a few thunderstorms along with the showers. And this is going to continue into Friday, and there is a small chance of severe weather Friday. Now, we don't have an alert day in the forecast, but definitely stay updated to News 3 Now for our updated forecast, because we could be seeing that severe weather potential for your Friday. Now, we're expecting rain to continue through Friday evening, but by the time we get to Saturday morning, it is going to be dry. And right now, it does look like Saturday will be dry for our area before more precipitation moves in Sunday and Monday of next week. So overall, we are going to see several chances of rainfall. But the good news is that really after tomorrow, temperatures are going to feel like spring going forward. And even tomorrow, we're still going to get into the lower 50s.
I'm loving the phrase "feels like spring."
Yeah.
We've earned it.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Jacob. Well, today kicks off our community baby shower. News 3 Now is once again partnering with Madison nonprofit Babies and Beyond.
Our Kyrian Lee spoke with the executive director about how you can help donate.
This week is your chance to donate to help hundreds of families across the area. Joining us now is Babies and Beyond Executive Director Brenda Collins. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. So for those who aren't familiar, what is Babies and Beyond and what do you all do here in the community?
So we provide free material supplies to pregnant women as well as families that have children up to the age of 4.
Yes, so lots of need here in our community, helping hundreds of families a week. So right now, as for this community baby shower, what are some of the big things that we need here?
Yeah, so right now we need gently used equipment, we need clothing. So right now we're really looking for strollers, we're looking for high chairs, swings, anything that you might have in your house. So if you're doing some spring cleaning and you have things in your house, donate them on over to us. And spring cleaning isn't just for your home, it's also for your little ones too. So you can't do a diaper change without those baby wipes. So we're looking for baby wipes. And we're also looking for diapers in those larger sizes. So those diapers in the larger sizes is what we go through most. Here's our wall of diapers. This is what we go through in less than a week. So this looks like a lot of diapers, but we're going through these super fast. And what we need the most are those larger sizes, the size 5s, the 6s, the 7s, because those older children, those are they're in them the longest.
Yes.
They could be in those for up to a year or longer. So we need those larger sizes. And you can donate right from your home. We have an Amazon wish list, or you can go out to the store and buy a pack and donate them right to the center. We're open for extended hours this week only, 9 to 4.
9 to 4. So Monday through Friday, get it in. And of course the need is ongoing, but we want to make this week big to make it all happen, because like these items here, it looks full right now, but they'll go so fast.
Yeah, we're serving up to 1,300 babies each and every month. So that need is huge. And we're doing our best to make sure that we're helping families in need.
Yes, so check those closets, attics, or if you want to just go to the store and grab something, you can do it all right here. You can drop it off right to Babies and Beyond here on South Stoughton Road. But of course, we will have all of these details up on our website and things that you can donate at channel3000.com.
Thank you, Carrie Ann. Well, coming up on Live at 4, if you haven't planned your Easter menu yet, don't worry, we have you covered.
Yep, that's right. Easter's this weekend. Some simple yet delicious tips to really impress your dinner guests when we come back. Well, Easter is just around the corner, and maybe you want to put a fun twist on your standard ham dinner.
We're going to help you with your hambition, let's say. Well,
I like that.
Chef Kate Conan from Jones Dairy Farm is here with 2 recipes, and they're pretty cool, but they won't keep a person in the kitchen all day.
Absolutely not.
Hi, Kate. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
You brought us 2 good recipes to make.
I did. So 2 different glazes that I'm going to show you how to make and show you how quick they can be made, how quickly they can be made. And then also, just so that you can see the different sizes, if you have a smaller household or you're only feeding a couple of people, we make this great uncured no sugar that's on average 1.5 to 2 pounds, so perfect size. If you're looking
and then
for
this big mama
feeding
the
a
whole
crowd,
newsroom.
yes, then you can go with the bone-in, the full ham. We also make a half version of that too. So
how do you know how big of a ham you need?
So if you're, like I said, if you're feeding, if this is going to be the only meat, the small ones, being that they're about 2 pounds, those will feed anywhere between 4 and 8 people, depending on how hungry everybody is. If you have another meat with it, then obviously it's going to feed more, because people will take less ham. This big one, honestly, I mean, we have this is what we're serving for Easter, and we've got about 20 people coming. So you'll be good. And then this one, you have the ham, so you can make split pea soup after too.
Yeah.
Before you make the glaze,
Yes.
can I just ask you a couple other ham facts?
Of course, if I know, I will answer.
Are when you buy a ham like this, are they always pre-cooked?
Almost all of them are going to be fully cooked and just need to be warmed. But just make sure you check the label. They do still sell, there's a couple places that will still sell an uncooked ham, so just make sure. But almost all of them are going to be fully cooked that you find on the market.
And then how long would it take you to heat it up in the oven?
These are about 15 minutes per pound. So if this is, just say for easy math, this is a 20-pound ham. So about 4 or 5 hours in the oven.
Great.
And so these recipes are nice. So you get your ham and you want to zhuzh it up a little bit. So you have this glaze, and now people at home might say, I don't know how to make a glaze.
Right.
And how do you even start? This looks simple enough.
Yes, this is so simple. So I'm going to have you mix this one. This is our first one. So this is
no pressure.
I know.
This is our orange honey glaze.
Any
so
order? Can I?
Does not matter what order. It's all getting mixed.
Pow.
So we have some brown sugar. And I'm actually having brown sugar in mine too. So that one is orange marmalade. So just a store-bought orange marmalade, could not be simpler. If you have apricot or something else, that works really well too. And then we've got a little bit of Dijon mustard.
Little kick.
Should have brought you a little spatula.
How dare you?
Little Dijon mustard, so just a little bit of that mustard flavor, and then some honey to sweeten it up a little bit more with the brown sugar.
And this is how we get like that crystallization, right?
Correct. That's going to give you the caramelization on the ham. So what you want to do is you want to warm it, and you're going to take it out about the last 10 minutes that it needs to cook, the last 10 or 15 minutes, and then spread that glaze on, put it back in the oven. And if you want, you can even, don't walk away from the oven, but you can hit the broiler just a little bit if you really want to get that nice color on the top.
You want to babysit that. That's what I do. I keep the door open and I just kind of watch.
Exactly right.
Now, what are you heating up, Kate, in your pan?
So this other one is our pineapple bourbon glaze. So this is pineapple juice and brown sugar. And then I've also got a little bit of maple syrup, Wisconsin maple syrup, of course. And then some bourbon. Whatever
no,
a little sip before I put it in the pan. A little bit of bourbon, and you're just going to cook that down until it thickens up really nicely. And then we're going to swirl in a little bit of butter at the end, and it just gives it that beautifully rich sheen to it. And same concept, you're going to put it on after it's been in the oven for a little while.
Now, do you heat this one up as well that Brady made?
You don't have to heat it at all until you put it on the ham and then back in the oven, and it'll do its thing in the oven. So super easy.
Where can people go to find some of these recipes?
Yes, so we have a wonderful website. It's jonesdairyfarm.com. And there are a bunch of recipes for our hams. There's also some great recipes for your leftover ham, for making sliders and things like that. There's the glaze recipes are on there. And then we also have a product finder where you can see exactly which stores, if you're looking for that big boy over there, you can find exactly which stores will carry it. But yes, a ton of information. Ham cooking or warming information is on there as well. So, all right, cut some little pieces for you guys. Help
It smells
little sample.
so
help
good in here.
yourselves.
Thank you.
Yes.
It smells divine.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.
And we're pretty tight for time, but
Sure.
can you just quickly tell us what Jones Dairy Farm is?
Yes, we are a 7th generation family-owned company. We've been in Fort Atkinson since 1889, and the family's been there many years before that even. But the company started in 1889, and we make almost everything that we make is certified gluten-free, and we do it the right way, the way it should have been always done from the beginning. So
wonderful.
Chef Kate, thank you very much.
Happy Easter to you and your family.
Thank you.
And it smells ham-tastic in here.
Up with the ham.
I'm done now.
Coming up on Live at 4, what the president said during his meeting with El Salvador's president in the Oval Office today.
Plus, Armand Rahman speaks with an international UW-Madison student amid the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
We are continuing our coverage this afternoon of a breaking news death investigation that is underway in Blue Mounds.
Police and members of the Dane County Sheriff's Office are on the scene on Smoky Mountain Trail. The Sheriff's Office says there is one person in custody. The call for the incident came just before noon today. Witnesses reported a disturbance.
Law enforcement shared more information with us just a little while ago.
Our Merrill Hubbard joins us now live from Blue Mounds with what we've learned so far. Merrill?
Yeah, Brady, Susan, I'm on Smoky Mountain Trail at the scene where Dane County sheriffs responded to the suspicious death of a 54-year-old woman. You can take a look at the scene behind me. You can see Dane County sheriffs, Blue Mounds police. They're surrounding this residence with the caution tape around it. Now, around 11:40 a.m., an initial call came in from a witness reporting a disturbance in this area where 2 women were involved. Dane County sheriffs say as deputies arrived on scene, they found a 54-year-old woman who sustained injuries that led to her death. The other woman is 31 years old. The Dane County sheriffs told me that she tried to first flee the scene by car and then by foot. They later apprehended her, and now she is in police custody. We still do not know the relationship between these 2 women, but coming up tonight at 5, I'm going to tell you more about the sheriff's life-saving efforts in this incident. But for now, reporting live at Blue Mounds, Merrill Hubbard, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Merrill. Well, let's get a look at our first warn forecast. Jacob Montesano is out on the patio. A little breezy out, but the sun sure feels nice.
Yes, very sunny skies right now, but I'm not sure if it's picking up on the microphone. Wind pretty loud out here, and that's the case for pretty much the entire region. Now, as we take a look at those wind speeds, they are up near 20 to 25 miles per hour for a lot of the region. Some areas are even seeing wind speeds up near 30 miles per hour just to the south of Madison. And these are just the sustained winds. Taking a look at the wind gust forecast, we're seeing gusts up around 40 miles per hour, if not a little bit over that. 33 miles per hour here in Madison, even gustier out near Milwaukee. Now, taking a look at the wind gust forecast, it's going to lighten up a little bit during the later evening and early overnight hours, but by the time we get to Tuesday morning, it is going to pick back up, and we're going to continue to see some breezy conditions. Maybe not quite as breezy as what we've seen today, but still definitely on the windier side. Now, taking a look at the current radar, we're not seeing anything right now. In fact, we are seeing plenty of sunshine, but we are expecting some showers to begin moving into our area just after sunset, mostly in the form of rain, but we actually could see a wintry mix later in the night. I'll talk more in detail about that and show you our next chance of rain, all coming up a little bit later.
Some developing news. Police are asking people to avoid the area of Main Street and South Division Street in Stoughton. Our crews were there earlier this afternoon and saw a large police presence. Police have not said what the nature of this incident was. We're expecting to learn more information about it today.
Mary Beth Witzel-Bale will no longer serve as Madison City Clerk. The city announced that she resigned today. Witzel-Bale's resignation comes amid an investigation from the state's election commission into how nearly 200 ballots went uncounted in November's election. In March, Witzel-Bale was placed on leave and City Attorney Michael Haas took over her role. He'll continue to serve as acting clerk until a nationwide search for Witzel-Bale's replacement concludes.
President Trump and El Salvador's president say they will not return Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. The two met today in the Oval Office days after the U.S. Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return. He's just one of the hundreds of people the Trump administration has sent to a prison in El Salvador known for its human rights abuses. During the meeting, the president also said he'll explore legal avenues to potentially deport U.S. citizens to El Salvador if they commit crimes, something that legal scholars say brings up serious constitutional concerns.
If we can do that, that's good. And I'm talking about violent people. I'm talking about really bad people.
Meanwhile, the administration's immigration crackdown faces more legal challenges. A federal judge in Vermont today considered whether to release a Tufts University student detained by ICE and accused of engaging in activities in support of Hamas. Rumeysa Ozturk says her arrest violates her free speech rights.
While a reason was given for that student's detainment, international students here at UW-Madison say many of them are left trying to figure out why their visas are being terminated and how to protect themselves.
It's part of the hundreds of student visas canceled by the Trump administration. Our Arman Rahman sat down with an international student today who says right now they're overcome with fear and isolation. Arman?
That's right, Susan and Brady. There are roughly 7,000 international students at UW-Madison. I spoke with one today who wished to remain anonymous, who says these visa terminations are catching them and the university completely off guard. This sophomore from Spain, who wished to go by the name Anna, says it's been hard for her and other international students to receive support. She says she feels international students have been brushed aside as the university deals with federal funding cuts to research, and other students don't understand how much they're walking on eggshells right now.
I think the general rules was that as long as you don't commit a felony and as long as you stay in school, you should never, ever have to worry about your visa status. And now it's like, you have to worry about your visa status. You really don't know how to protect yourself because we don't know why specific students are having their visas revoked.
Her and some others have a survey out for international students and are hosting events with outside organizations like Voces de la Frontera to create areas and to share information and support. The state of Wisconsin has joined nearly 24 other states in suing the Trump administration over the visa cancellations. And an interesting thing I learned, Anna says in the beginning, only the international students were notified of those first round of visa terminations, the first 6. So her roommates, her peers, her professors, her coworkers had no idea what was going on with her or her fellow international students and how they were dealing with any of this. She says it wasn't until the media started reporting on things that the university began publicly releasing that information. And actually, the university dean of international division just sent out a message detailing different resources and their response to these visa terminations. I'll have more on that tonight at 6.
It must be a time of big uncertainty, and they're getting these updates kind of in real time about what they should do. So this is an important story.
Definitely.
All right, Armand, thank you.
All right, for any and all updates on the government's actions on immigration and how many UW-Madison students are affected, download the free Channel 3000 mobile app.
New details are emerging in the case of a teenager from Waukesha accused of killing his mother and stepfather earlier this year. Unsealed federal records show the murders were part of a much larger plot, which included overthrowing the government and assassinating President Trump. They detailed 17-year-old Waukesha student Nikita Kassep's internet activity and conversations about white supremacy and overthrowing the government. According to prosecutors, Kassep stayed in the home with the bodies of his dead mother and stepfather for 12 days. Police arrested him in Kansas weeks after the murders with his father's car, gun, and $14,000. The motive for the murders, according to the federal warrant, was to use that money to fund a plan calling for the president's assassination.
The two people are charged in connection to a murder in Pleasant Springs last month. 18-year-old Creed Moore and 24-year-old Dwayne Johnson Jr. are accused of killing 23-year-old Kyle Thrasher on March 7th. Moore is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, armed robbery as a party to a crime, and having a gun as a felon. Johnson Jr. is charged with felony murder and armed robbery as a party to a crime. The sheriff's office says the suspects knew the victim, who they were meeting with just after midnight on the 7th at a BP gas station off the interstate. Police say Johnson Jr. and Moore robbed Thrasher, and Thrasher allegedly cooperated with the robbery, but the two allegedly killed him anyway. Moore and Johnson Jr. will be in court for preliminary hearings next week.
Coming up on Live at 4, a new movie lost at this weekend's battle at the box office, but does that mean that it's not worth seeing?
Will Loper reviews The Amateur when we're back. Well, the Minecraft movie took the top spot again at the box office.
It beat the new movie that opened this weekend, The Amateur, starring Rami Malek. Is it worth seeing? Here's Will Loper's take.
May, Susan, and Brady. A Minecraft movie has chicken jockeyed its way to #1 with a massive $80 million in its second weekend.
Chicken jockey!
Yes, the movie that spawned viral videos of young moviegoers tossing popcorn and milk duds in theaters, and in some cases a live chicken, in response to a line reading by Jack Black, has truly become a box office juggernaut. In third place, making $15 million, is the newest movie in theaters, The Amateur.
You ever wonder what they do with all the stuff you dig up for them?
That's not my job.
No, but you never wonder?
No, it's the CIA. I gotta trust that they'll make the right call.
Rami Malek stars as a cryptographer at the CIA, whose wife dies in a terrorist attack. Although not fit for the field, Malek is determined to avenge his wife.
Let us handle this. I want mission-specific training, cash, and a new identity.
He trains with Lawrence Fishburne, and despite completely failing, goes to find the ones responsible.
You're just a nerdy fella that works on computers. What you doing? Just gonna kill you.
Although the film sets itself apart by not having Malek's character become an unstoppable force, his complete inability to be competent in any situation gets old quick.
I don't think you could beat a 90-year-old nun in an arm wrestling match.
Add in clunky dialogue and exposition, and you've got yourself a tedious movie experience. Skip The Amateur, and for a good spy thriller instead, watch Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag, now available to rent.
I'll say.
For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
One extra recommendation. That's good.
I'll definitely go to the one where there's not a chicken in the movie theater, like Minecraft.
Throwing popcorn.
Yeah, don't do that.
Coming up on Live at 4, Jacob has another check on the forecast.
And later, we'll hear from Gail King about her trip on the Blue Origin after this.
Hello everybody, here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. We're going to continue to see some breezy conditions tonight and tomorrow. Some light rain is then possible for the overnight hours, with more rain expected by the time we get to Thursday and Friday, and the Thursday-Friday rainfall does look to be a lot heavier. So first, let's start with the wind gust forecast. Still very windy right now. Going to light up a little bit for the overnight hours, but then pick back up as we head into Tuesday. Still going to be breezy throughout the night and for most of tomorrow. Wind gusts will continuously be up around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Finally getting better by Tuesday night, and then Wednesday is not expected to be as windy. Here's a look at the rainfall forecast, though. We'll see some light precipitation as we head into the evening hours. Could see some pockets of moderate precipitation, but overall the rain will be on the lighter side, likely starting to move into the western portion of our area after sunset and continuing to kind of make its way to the east, but it's also not expected to really last throughout the entire region. But later in the night, we'll see some precipitation coming into our area from the north, bringing some consistent rain and a wintry mix further north and east. Not expecting much in the form of accumulation, but we definitely could see some slippery roads with that wintry mix. But as we get closer to sunrise Tuesday, a lot of that will really clear up. Still could see some light precip for Tuesday morning, but most of it will happen overnight. Now, looking at the temperatures, because of those northwesterly winds, highs will only be near 50, so it is going to be a little bit below normal. And then as we look towards the end of the week, we're going to see warmer temperatures, but we have another chance of rain. So this chance of rain does look to bring overall a lot more than tonight into tomorrow. Could even bring a few thunderstorms, starting to move into the area Thursday afternoon and evening, continuing for much of the night and into Friday, possibly lasting for Friday evening as well, before it finally clears out by Saturday morning. So to kind of recap all the precip chances, we'll see some light precipitation tonight into tomorrow, much more likely Thursday into Friday, and after a dry Saturday, we'll see the precip increase again for Sunday and Monday of next week. So total precipitation through the next 7 days could be up to around 1 to 2 inches. And we're still at a little bit of a drought in parts of southern Wisconsin, so we'll definitely take the rain that we get. Now, overall, the 7 to 10 day forecast does look very favorable temperature-wise, as after tomorrow, every single day we're going to have high temperatures, possibly getting into the 60s. So these are the temperatures that I think make us say spring might officially be here and might be here to stay now.
That's good to hear. All right, thank you, Jacob. We have a breaking update to a story that we brought you earlier.
Stoughton police say a man was shot and is now in the hospital being treated for his injuries. At about 1:20 today, officers responded to East Main Street for a man who was shot. Their initial information showed that the shooting did not happen there, but police haven't said where they believe it occurred. Police are investigating still, and police don't think the shooting was random and say there's no immediate threat to the public. We'll be right back.
The first all-female crew aboard Blue Origin's new Shepard rocket is back from their suborbital space tourism mission.
It was a fast trip.
Yep.
Well, this was a journey of a lifetime, which included CBS Morning's co-host Gail King and singer Katy Perry. Journalist and pilot Lauren Sanchez organized the group after pitching the all-women flight to her fiancé, Amazon Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos. Other members of the crew included film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, former NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowe, and civil rights activist Amanda Wynn.
I stepped out of my comfort zone in a way that I never thought was possible for me. And now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything.
Once the parachutes deployed, the capsule drifted down toward the Texas desert. This marks only the second ever all-female crew in the history of spaceflight. There they are. We'll be right back.
Coming up tomorrow on Live at 4, UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff will be joining us. And tomorrow, we'll also tell you how you can help the River Food Pantry with just one bike ride. And then coming up tonight at 6, our Josh Spreiter will show us how people in Columbia County are doing something good for a child dealing with some medical issues. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today, everybody. Good to have you with us, and we hope you'll be back here tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.